Hey, what's up you guys? It's your girl Assataamani, and I did want to stop by on my new Vlogmas series and share with you guys some of my favorite winter arc / glow up habits. If you're interested, make sure to stay tuned.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose.
Okay, so for Vlogmas Day 1, what I wanted to do was share all these tips with you guys. Make sure to use the chapters if there is a specific habit or glow up tip that you would like to tackle in your life. Number 1 for me personally, y'all already know I'm already dressed and ready to go to the gym because I'm going to the gym strictly after this video is being made, okay? At least the sit down portion. I'm going straight to the gym. Why? Because my fitness and my nutrition is probably like number 1 to me in my life right now. I am a stay-at-home mom. I am a content creator. I'm constantly on camera. And not only that, I battle with things such as PCOS, which stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome. As you guys know, it affects 1 in 10 women, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that is a large number. I have to always make sure that my hormones are in check. And what better way to do this than to start out with one of my favorite things to make sure that I'm hormonally in check, and that is my GLP-1, which is GLP-1T, which stands for GLP-1 tirzepatide. I do get my tirzepatide from Valhalla Vitality. I absolutely love them. They have super fast shipping. Not only that, but they are really communicative when it comes down to making sure that you're getting your right GLP-1. Now, I choose to be on a GLP-1 because it helps with my insulin resistance. Do you guys have to be on a GLP-1 in order to have a glow up? No, absolutely not. If you feel like you have a handle on your nutrition and your fitness journey, then you don't have to worry about that. But me personally, since I do have PCOS and I know what life is like without having a GLP-1 versus what life is like with the GLP-1, I personally choose to use the GLP-1, and I've been on it for the past 2 years, y'all. So that's number 1. That will be my number 1 glow up tip for my girlies who are a little bit, at a disadvantage when it comes down to insulin resistance or their hormones, is to make sure to use a actual GLP-1 of their choice. You have GLP-1S, which stands for semaglutide, GLP-1T, which stands for tirzepatide, and you also have GLP-1 retatrutide. So whatever you guys choose to do with your body is your choice, but personally, I choose to be on a GLP-1. So basically, I take this little appetite suppressant that also helps with all of these other things. Yeah. It helps with a lot, you guys. And I take this injection 1 time a week. The next thing I feel like should be for everybody and their mama, y'all, that is getting at least 10,000 steps a day. I know. When you work from home or you work at a desk job, getting 10,000 steps seems like a drag because you already sitting there for hours and hours and hours on your behind, and you don't really want to think about getting in 10,000 steps on top of that. I get it, but I'm telling y'all right now, when I started getting 10,000 steps a day, I not only started to slim down, I noticed that my mood literally has been elevating. Like, it's been going like doo 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 doo. Not only do I have PCOS, but I'm also a bipolar 1 girly. Yes, your girl is bipolar. So actually getting in my steps and making sure to go to the gym and making sure to prioritize my fitness has been extremely helpful for me on my journey, just because it elevates your mood. To me, it's one of the best antidepressants that we have access to, and it's free 99, and that's just going on a walk. You don't have to run. You don't have to do a Stairmaster. Literally, only thing you have to do is walk about an hour into an hour and a half a day. And that's for my sit down people. Now, if you aren't one of those people that is constantly sedentary like I am, then you don't really need to worry about hitting the gym for an hour, hour and a half a day. You personally just don't. You already walking a lot. So just make sure to get a pedometer or a tracker app on your phone and see how many steps that you're naturally hitting on a day-to-day basis if you are not a work from home person, and then just start to elevate and start to add on more steps until you get to at least 10K. And once you hit 10K, it's easier to hit 15K and then 20K, and just keep it simple just like that. I have noticed a large shift in my mood just by doing 10K steps. So I highly recommend it. I'm also going to link a pedometer that I bought down below from Amazon. If you guys don't want to use a tracking app or don't have an Apple Watch or don't have an Oura Ring, you literally can just use a fancy old pedometer, clip it onto your side, and call it a day. The next thing would have to be weightlifting. Yes, your girl is a sucker. I am a sucker for weightlifting. I think it makes me feel strong. It accentuates my curves. It tones my body. and it just makes me feel amazing. So what happens is when you're doing cardio or walking, you're actually burning calories. When you're doing weightlifting though, you're actually burning fat. It's targeting the fat on your body. And a lot of the times we think that we want to be, oh, I want to lose 40 pounds. No, what you want to do is you want to lose the fat on your body, because you can be skinny or real slim and be skinny fat. What you want is that muscle, that nice muscle on your body. It makes sure that your curves pop out. And also, I just think it's good for longevity when it comes down to it, is to make sure to do your cardio and your weightlifting. So my next tip would have to be weightlifting 3 to 4 times a week. That is a sweet spot. And to be honest with you guys, a lot of us women, we don't need to weightlift past 3 to 4 times a week. We just don't. I used to do 5 to 6 times a week. And when I tell you I looked like I was doing 5 to 6 times a week, I looked like I was doing 5 to 6 times a week. You want to make sure to give your body a break and have those rest days, and just let that muscle tear and actually build over time, and make sure to rest, because your rest is really important. The next thing will have to be the most important thing, and that is to eat in either a caloric surplus, a caloric maintenance, or a caloric deficit. You don't want to be doing anything other than making sure that your nutrition is in check, baby, especially when you're on a weight loss or weight gain journey. If you want to be on a weight gain journey, you want to eat more than your maintenance calories. And if you want to lose weight, you want to be in a deficit, which means eating less than your maintenance calories. And if you want a body recomp, you can eat at maintenance. And the way to figure this out is to go to 𝐒𝐸.com or use a 𝐒𝐸_calculator.com. I think that's what it's called. I'm going to link that in the description as well. And that will tell you exactly what you need on a daily basis in order to gain weight, lose weight, or maintain the weight that you're currently at. So currently I am trying to slim my body down. And so I can either eat at maintenance, because if I'm kind of teeter-totter, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, between losing more weight and actually just body recomping, which is completely different. But basically, long story short, yes, I'm trying to eat in a caloric deficit so I can shred some of this weight off of my body. And personally, that will be my TDEE minus 300 to 500 calories. So I hope this makes sense. I'll link the actual calculator in the description down below. The next tip, baby, I didn't even think about this until I seen this girl. I cannot for the life of me remember her name, but she was like, she takes pictures of her food, of her meals, to make sure that she's staying accountable. And then she'll add her meals into an actual calendar, like a little chart. I thought that was so smart, and I want to actually start doing this myself. And I'm starting today actually, but taking pictures of my meals and using a little chart, like importing the picture into the chart and using that on a daily basis. So for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, and literally just using a chart to keep yourself accountable. Because if you're taking pictures of what you're eating, at the end of the day, baby, if you're not losing weight that you want to lose, weight gain that you want to gain, or staying the same, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're not really doing much. Trust me, I've been there for years and years and years where things just stayed stagnant. So I feel like using an actual meal planner or meal calendar or meal chart will be extremely helpful for me, because then I can visually see what I have to do. So that pretty much wraps it up for fitness and nutrition. Let's go ahead and get into something that I hold near and dear to my heart other than fitness and nutrition, and that is this hair. Yes, you guys, this hair. Let's go ahead and get into it. Number one, y'all know I'm a heat trained natural. I wear my hair straight about 90% out of the entire year. And if it's not straightened in some form or fashion, it's in a sew-in being straightened, or it's in some box braids. Y'all know I don't play when it comes to my hair, or a wig. I don't play when it comes to my hair. I want to grow the longest hair. Now, I did want to go ahead and throw this out there. Last year for Christmas, I asked for a titanium flat iron. Yes, and I got it. I got an EAP Heat titanium flat iron, and I've been using that thing every single time that I have been straightening my hair throughout the year. What have I noticed with using a titanium flat iron versus using my 𝐬𝐸 ceramic flat iron is that my hair has not grown much. Has it grown? Yes, I'm gonna take that back. It has grown. She has grown. She is a little bit longer. She is a little bit longer. But I also have noticed that my hair could be a lot longer than what it is if I wasn't doing these two things. And that is, one, constantly using a titanium flat iron because it distributes heat differently than a ceramic. A ceramic is gonna be your best friend. If you're heat trained natural or you want to keep your curl pattern, that is going to be your best friend, is a ceramic iron. Now, I do recommend to go back and forth between the two, or use the ceramic more, about 80% of the time, and use a titanium 20% of the time of your flat ironings and your silk presses. But that's just me. Some people only use a titanium 1 to 2 times a year. That's perfectly fine. That's them. Me personally, what I'm going to be doing going into this winter's arc is completely cutting out my titanium flat iron, maybe even cutting out flat ironing, period. I have actually retained a lot of length being a heat trained natural versus when I was just strictly wearing my hair, you know, in twist outs and stuff like that. My hair was constantly shedding when I was doing that stuff, and it was constantly being manipulated when I was doing the whole natural hair thing. This is actually a result of a blowout and some flexi rods and sitting under the dryer, so it is stretched. It's still stretched. With that also being said, to go back to the flat ironing part, I am going to use my ceramic flat iron for now on and keep that titanium flat iron under the sink, because my hair, I feel like, has been shedding a lot more just due to the fact I'm using a titanium iron, and it's probably stripping my hair way more and way more abrasively than a ceramic iron. So I'm going back to my ceramic iron. The next thing I feel like I have done that I literally could have did without is so many damn trims. Now, I have done so many trims this year. Yes, I feel like literally every 2 months I have trimmed my hair. That is not needed. You only need to trim your hair when it is needed, not when you want to just trim your hair. I do dust my ends, so I'm gonna kind of cut back on that as well, which is doing a little trim. I'm gonna cut back on that as well. I feel like because I was using the titanium iron so much this past year, that is the reason why I kept getting, you know, the split ends and things like that. So yes, I am gonna cut down on not only the titanium flat iron, but also how many times I trim my hair, because you're not gonna see no type of growth if you constantly cutting your hair off, baby. So with that being said, we slowing down on the trims. I wanna get trims at most 3 times a year for now on, and I'm kind of considering going to a professional. I don't know. I don't trust people with my hair. I've been natural for 10 years, and I just don't trust people touching my hair, because I have went to a salon and got heat damage when I was like a full-blown natural in high school. Like, I loved my curls. I loved everything about my curls, my twist outs. Couldn't tell me nothing about my puffs, okay? I have done it. I've been natural for 10 years, proud to say. 2015 is when I shaved all my hair off. But I literally had to shave it all off again because somebody gave me heat damage. And that's not when I was actually a heat trained natural, so I didn't know what to do with it. It was constantly falling out. It was just a whole hot mess because it was damaged. I feel like heat training and heat damage is completely 2 different things, but that's just me. I feel like when it's damaged, it's literally falling out in clumps and it's just a whole hot mess. I feel like when it's heat trained, it's more so your hair is just used to being in a heat trained straight state. So yeah, only trimming 2 to 3 times this upcoming year, and I'll probably not trim at all this winter time. My favorite thing in the world is to deep condition my hair, because I do have one of those standing hooded dryers. So I have low porosity hair. I have to use some type of heat in my hair in order to make sure that all that moisture from the deep conditioner is penetrating my hair shaft. So I'm going to be deep conditioning 1 time a week, or every single time I wash it, I deep condition, which is probably about 2 to 3 weeks. But yeah, I want to deep condition every single week. Every single week I want to deep condition my hair, because I plan on wearing my hair curly a lot more this winter. For some odd reason, I don't know why, I'm just feeling I want change. But yeah, a little blowout, a little flexi rod set, that's gonna be me. But yeah, y'all, deep conditioning. We gotta make sure to stay on top of our deep conditionings, because our hair is naturally just gonna be dry. She is beautiful. She defies gravity. She is dry. So with that being said, we want to make sure that we're penetrating that hair shaft and getting in all that deep conditioner and taking care of our hair. At the end of the day, we have to speak life into our hair. We have to love our hair. We have to stop doing so much to our hair. And if you choose to do what you want to do to your hair, that's fine. But make sure you at least getting them deep conditionings in. Make sure that you're at least taking care of your scalp and your actual hair while it's in these protective styles. If you can, in between, make sure to give your hair a break for at least a week or two to a month. Give your hair a break. I'll give my hair breaks all the time from protective styling because I keep my protective styles in for at most 8 weeks. And the last thing that I want to start implementing more is to oil my scalp. My scalp be dry, y'all, because I am a heat trained natural. That just comes with the game. You're constantly shampooing your hair and you want your hair as dry as possible. But that scalp, baby, you want to make sure that that scalp is not flaky and all that other stuff. So yes, I do plan on oiling my hair a lot more often. So I have to find a really good oil. And if you guys know a really good oil, make sure to comment them down below so that way I can go ahead and pick me up some. I heard that almond oil was good. Yeah, I heard that that was good, but I'm looking for an oil for hair growth and hair retention and all that other stuff. So yeah, I do plan on oiling my scalp and my hair a lot more. Baby, the next thing has to do with skin. My skin has been going through it. I don't have any type of foundation on my skin right now, but I do have PCOS, like I told you guys earlier. So y'all, I grow hair up under my chin. I grow hair above my lip. So I'm constantly having to find ways to get rid of that hair. And with getting rid of hair, y'all already know what comes. I don't get ingrowns, thank God, under my chin, but I do have dark marks like crazy. Y'all probably notice them sometimes in my vlogs because I be having a camera down here and then I look back at it and I'm like, oh my God, what has happened? So I want to make sure to start taking care of my skin a lot more. I do understand that, you know, having dark marks for melanated skin, especially those who have PCOS, is kind of, you know, it's kind of inevitable in some aspect, but we can do what we can do to make sure that we minimize the look of those dark spots. And with that being said, I already wash my face with La Roche-Posay every single day. I exfoliate. That's not the problem. It's when I get out the shower, I just forget to moisturize and forget to tone and forget every little single step in my process. So yeah, I want to start implementing a day and night routine just because I feel like that will really help your girl out. You feel me? Like, ain't nobody trying to be out here with dark spots and stuff like that. I already got dark armpits. Okay, I have dark armpits and dark knees and dark elbows. Ain't nobody trying to be out here with dark spots up under their chin. So I have to find some formulation, some type of ways to make sure to minimize that. And I think I found it. I think what I should just do is start to get more waxes a lot more often, because not only do I have dark spots right here, but I have them in my bikini line as well. So I want to go back to doing my waxes, like actually getting them professionally done and using PFB Chroma Bright or Tin Skin. I heard that those two products are amazing for dark spots in the, you know, bikini area and stuff and under the chin. So I want to start doing that. Now, I do know that you can laser or you can get the other thing. I forgot, electrolysis. Yeah, that permanently removes hair. I do know I can get that, but laser is not recommended for my hormonal areas like under my chin. Electrolysis, I think, may be pretty straight to, you know, do in those areas, but it's super expensive. So for right now, I'm gonna stick to going to get my waxes for my bikini / Brazilian and using the PFB, using some Tin Skin. I actually have to order some more, and making sure to exfoliate these areas just because we don't want a buildup of dead skin. And the last thing would have to be having work and family balance, work and home balance. Yeah. With being a stay-at-home mom and a content creator, your girl obviously loves her coin. She loves to make her money. She loves it. I'm a Taurus woman. You know what? Beep. Forget being a Taurus, I'm a high maintenance girl. Regardless if I don't have my nails done right now or my toenails done right now, I actually have to do it tomorrow for y'all for Vlogmas, yay. But regardless of all of that, I like to have my own coin. I went to school, got my master's. I didn't just want to sit at home all day and not make my own coin, which is why I got this camera and this light in front of me. Okay, so with that being said, I have to find ways to have work / home balance. And I feel like going out as a family every single weekend, at least doing something together, has really been opening my eyes to a lot of things, because there was a time where we didn't really have that balance. And now I feel like we have that balance where we spend time as a family, at least 1 time or 2 times a week. And then, you know, I feel like that is literally kind of making us all closer, is giving us something to do on the weekends. And it's just super fun. Like, who doesn't want to do something every single weekend? Regardless if it's going to the park or going to Chuck E. Cheese or going to the beach or something. Like, it's just super freaking fun. Well, you can't go to the beach in the wintertime. You can, but you're going to be cold. It was cold this morning. It was cold outside. But yeah, y'all, I just feel like it's really important to have a balance between your work life and your home life. So with that being said, I'm filming this video extra early. I'll film throughout the day, but as far as when my family is all in the house, like all of us, I want to make sure to pour into them, cook for them, clean for them, get them situated for the next day so that they have a nice, bright day. And with that being said, I'm doing Vlogmas on top of that, which is the recording every single day. So it's just about the early bird catches the worm. The early bird catches the worm, because if I was to wait to do this and they were home, they'll have to be quiet, or you know what I mean? Like, it would just be all over the place. So I'm just making it in, like putting it in my mind that I need to have a balance. So my work and my editing is done before they even touch foot to that door. I want to make sure to keep doing that. And then of course, vlogging and stuff like that is not really, it's work, but it's not really work. It's more so fun work. So yeah, with that being said, those are all of my winter arc / glow up tips for you guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave me a big thumbs up and make sure to comment down below that you enjoyed it, or comment down below anything that you want to. And with that being said, happy Vlogmas Day 1. Thank you so much for coming by, and yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose.